You're watching Diecast Breakdown with Chuck Ellis, David Johns, and Mark McHotwheel. So sit back, strap in, and hang on. The breakdown starts now.
Well, hey there, folks. Chuck here, and welcome to Diecast Breakdown live on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook for the one occasional person. Usually it's Mike Zarnock that pops in there and says hi to us on Facebook live, but we're glad he's here, and we're glad you are too. We are especially glad to be supported by our executive producer level patrons. That is First and 64th Customs, Dane Self, DJI Web, DrivenDreams.org, Elevation Diecast Racing, Jason, Jay Goldenberg.
In
Jay,
the chat.
I still owe you an email, Jay. Lewis, Big Lou Tanahara, Mad Visions, Reviews Through Another Lens, TWYCE Diecast, and our dear friend Video Geek Productions, who has supported us from the very beginning and has finally wrapped his support, which is fine. He has supported us for over 2 years now, and that is awesome. So thank you, Adam, for all the support through this. We are deeply grateful to you. And if you want to join their ranks and help us pay for this expensive streaming equipment, you can visit diecastbreakdown.com, where you can find our Patreon link, or you can hit the little join button down below. Currently, there is no benefits to supporting us other than the feeling in your heart knowing that you're keeping Diecast news and reviews alive and well on the internet, because if there's one thing the internet needs, it's more grown men's opinion about Diecast.
Amen.
So you can help keep that going over at those locations. And we're going to keep things going over here. I am thrilled to be joined by my co-host, Mr. David Johns. David, how the heck are you today?
No place on this planet I would rather be right now.
Love it. And returning guest, co-host, Harry Crossland. Harry, thank you so much for joining us yet again. Mark is on assignment out there doing car stuff, we are told. So we're wishing him the best. But Harry has graciously agreed to join us here in the cockpit of Diecast Breakdown. So Harry, thank you for being here, and thank you for your contributions as well. You've got a channel, Harry's Diecast Garage. People can check that out on YouTube. Harry does some really, really cool photos. Harry, I hope you don't mind. I wanted to show some photos that you just took recently. Harry, tell me about these photos, because they are super cool.
Well, they actually, I was just playing around with those. I got some better ones coming. Well, the thing was, to explain Rexy, it was kind of based off the conversation we had the first time about, FOMO and rushing out to get stuff. A lot of people are going out and paying all kinds of obscene prices for either one of those castings. And with Roxy, I remember I got that off of eBay. I paid about $36 for that, and it was slightly above my range, but I was like, hey, it's right there. It's low-hanging fruit.
Sure.
With Rexy, I had a really hard time finding it because it was something that had been out a while. Then they did another casting version of it. It came and it went. And I said, well, just like anything else, it really wasn't meant to be. If I get it, I get it. So just about a week or so ago, I run across one of my shops. They had two of them in. Someone had reserved and didn't come pick one of them up. And I was like, sure, why not? So I have the matching pair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And took some quick shots with those.
Yep.
And went out today and I took some better shots, which I'm working on now to go with my next unboxing that I'm doing.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm realizing now those were test shots, but they are fantastic, and I wanted to share them because I was very excited about them. And excited to remind people that Harry is an excellent photographer, and he has some really cool videos. We shared one of your videos recently where we were talking about, you were talking about how to make your miniature figures in your scenes stand up properly. So go check out his channel, or you can check in our community feed. You'll see a link to one of his videos where he talks about this really cool, really simple trick to making those stand out. So or stand up rather. I mean, mine
Yeah,
keep going
literally.
over all the time. So anyway, so check that out. And again, thanks for being here, Harry. And gentlemen, I'm going to dive right in here because we got a lot of ground to
Let's
cover.
get it. We
So,
got to get going.
So we're getting going here, but I'm going to start things off by saying what I often say, which is, gentlemen, what is exciting you in the world of diecast?
Well, let me kick it off because I found some cool stuff. If you don't mind, Harry, I'm gonna jump in and get us started here. We have Hot Wheel Masters collaborating with a couple other channels on Instagram. We've got some sneak peeks at some super treasure hunts coming out. I see a Mustang, I see a Civic, and an F40. That F40, if I was a betting man, number one, I'll never find one, but number two, that is going to be pretty valuable
Yeah.
treasure hunt to find. Anything tickle your fancy out of these three, Harry?
Actually, you know what? I would probably try to get that Civic. That Civic is calling my name.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Civic looks really good. That Mustang casting is nice. It is a nice casting, but I did just pick up the regular mainline yellow F40 while I was at Walmart, and it's really nice. Like, it's a lot nicer than I thought it was from the initial photographs. So I'm pleased that they're doing. I mean, of course they're going to do a super treasure hunt for that one, but like you said, I think that one's going to be pure unobtainium, instantly on eBay for $250 kind of thing. So I've long since given up on trying to find a super treasure hunt in the wild, but I do check the pegs just to see what's out there, but I never ever expect to find anything. Although I did find one. Actually, I found a couple of really cool chases that we'll talk about later in the show. But we're moving on here. This is another one that caught my fancy, David. I just picked this one up as well and foolishly put it on the internet as a Rolls Royce, but it is not. It's a Bentley.
It is not. We don't get old school Bentleys very often. Matchbox seems to be the brand to bring some of the obscure stuff to the masses. You guys know we can find it in other brands, but shout out to Matchbox for a little homage to their roots back in the UK with a Bentley R-Type Continental. This will be part of the collector series, which you see. So we're going to have rubber tires. I don't think the collectors usually have moving parts. That's normally the moving part series. So this one will be just well detailed and rubber tires, not a bad looking car.
No, I agree. It's a very nice looking casting. I just got it in person. It is under 1/64th scale because I know it is a large car, but it is a very good looking car. So I picked one up. I was pleased to find one in my collection. It is a metal car, people. It is a metal body, metal base car. So it is weighty. It does not have any moving parts either, as most Matchbox collectors vehicles do. There are a couple that don't. The older Audi doesn't have moving parts as well, but that's also one of my favorite castings from their premium line. But yes, I was pleased to see when I opened this up that it is a true metal premium casting. All right, we've got some of these skinny little wasp-shaped cars.
Previous guest of the show, Christina Albrecht, designer at Hot Wheels, pours her passion into the design she gets to do. You guys are going to get to see a lot more of her work with the RLC stuff coming out, some absolute bangers that she's putting out. Happy to see F1 getting a full lineup from Hot Wheels. Chuck, I don't know if I hit my head and just woke up in Hot Wheels land, but I got a lot of Hot Wheels news to share.
I know.
I think these are well done. I would love to get the chat's opinion. If we have any open wheel racer fans in the chat, where do these rank with some of the other brands? You guys have seen the IXO America stuff that we shared with you guys all this year.
Yep.
These don't look terrible. We've got new stuff. We've got Aston Martins. We've got Ferrari. We've got all the big teams on display.
I gotta say, I am not an F1 fan, and I just I don't know. They barely count as vehicles for me, and I know that's a terrible opinion to have. That's like an American hating on football, British football or European football, I should say.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm not a huge F1 guy, but I did pick up a couple because they do look really good, and I did order the F1 movie based one for my Hollywood collection. So I will give credit where credit's due. They are a good looking casting. I do want to go back to that F40 for just a second because Jay pointed out that a Keister car F40 Super Treasure Hunt has already sold for $200 plus. So people
A lot
are
of sharp
already,
edges on that car.
I would not have enjoyed sneaking that one out. Yeah. So let's see. And he commented, I just got the last 4 cars on Friday. They're very nice, but I prefer Indy cars for open wheel racing.
I knew we
Fair
had
enough.
a fan. I knew we had a fan out there.
So he's gonna love the XO America cars. Still shocked that Greenlight gave up the IndyCar mantle, given the fact that was what got them started in diecast cars. But that's
that hit close to home for them.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I had a question. Now, with Hot Wheels having the license for Formula One,
Yep.
What, in you guys' opinion, what kind of detail or what kind of level of detail are we expecting from these, as opposed to maybe anybody else that might be doing any castings?
I'm expecting about the same level as a premium Hot Wheels car. You know, we're gonna get a metal body, a metal base, maybe some chassis detail. Maybe it'll be pretty flat under there. Hot Wheels stuff always looks a little chunky to me. They've been getting better, and you'll see a little bit of that in some of our stuff that we're talking about moving forward. But there's always like a little bit more ruggedness to a Hot Wheels casting than the others, because they are still aimed at children, even the premiums, I think. So they do have a bit more, thicker A pillars on things, so they don't crush as easily. Paint's a little thicker. So there's a very Hot Wheelsy look to things, and some people really like that, and some people don't. I don't mind it most of the time. But I think it's one of those things that you've got to, take it for what it is. Hot Wheels is going to usually work with the same set of wheels for a bunch of different things. So you're probably not going to get unique wheels for stuff. They are going to be looking at more mass produced stuff. They're looking at, a small run for a Hot Wheels car is 25 to 30,000 cars. And a small run for our premium guys is going to be, take a 0 or 2 off that.
Yeah,
so
you have 500 in a run.
Mm.
And Harry, one of the benefits that Hot Wheels has on these vehicles, when you hold them up against some of the other premium brands, is we don't have to worry about lensed headlamps or tail lamps on these. So that's that's one immediate differentiator that is not evident when you hold them up to each other. I think Hot Wheels, they'll look decent. If you look hard enough, you'll see the difference in some of the more upscale brands for sure. But yeah, these are what they are, and they're pretty good for what they are.
Yeah, Jay pointed out that BBR Ferrari F1 cars are stellar. Of course, you can only get 2 drivers because that's what makes up a team. So
some of those European brands, it's just so much more popular over there. So they know the collectors are over there. BBR being a brand, overseas. Yep. All right, we'll keep on trucking.
Yep. Speaking of Hot Wheels, this one showed up. Phia posted it in our community section. So make sure you're following our community posts, because Phia has the finger on the pulse of diecast news and posts stuff before I even realize it's a thing. And I saw that, and I didn't even think this didn't even clock as a Hot Wheels for me when I first saw it. So what did you think, David?
Phia was all over it. This is an RLC, if I recall correctly.
It is,
I hope okay. So this is almost enough to lure somebody back into the RLC. If I'm honest, we've got the white lettering, we've got multiple colors on the wheels, we have got, the stripes look perfect. I love all the detail on the glass on the window. It's just really well done. Would love to hear some takes from the chat as we keep moving. We'll reference back to this one.
Mhm.
I think
That
this
is
one was
awesome.
absolutely
The, the
smashed.
whole way that model was photographed.
Look at the stance. I mean, they
Right.
just got it right. They
Right.
just got it right.
I will say, and I want to get Harry's take on this. I will say the big negative for me is there are no lensed headlamps on this puppy. It is painted. So they did a good job. I will say that is a good looking paint job, but it does still look very good, but it's still surprising to me that there might be a few exceptions, but that there haven't been any lensed RLC cars that I can think of, and the chat will, I'm sure, correct me on that.
Well, I want to pose this to you, Chuck, that when you see the red Porsche that I have in my other group of picks, it's kind of why I don't mind them not doing the headlamps on this vehicle, because
Mhm.
if they were going to come out looking like they did on the one we'll see shortly, it'd really take it away from,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Harry, you're relatively new to collecting on the premium level. What is your take on RLC, and does this this particular model change that opinion in any way?
Yeah, this is one of those, like I said, just by the way that this has been photographed, it photographs really, really well. It's one of those, if you look at it at a glance, you'd almost think it was a real car. And that's one of the things that I strive for when I get some of my models, is like, how realistic does it look, up against maybe something real world. And that particular piece right there, yeah, if I ever saw that in the wild, I definitely would jump at the chance of getting that. I really like all the detailing, the tires, the rims. I could only imagine like what it really looks like from the side, and even the front grille. So I mean, this is a mock-up, is it not, or is this the finished?
I believe this is the final version,
Yeah.
because it's
This
going.
is what you should get.
Is this releasing next week and next Tuesday? This coming Tuesday?
We've got Jay saying Tuesday.
Yeah. Thanks, Jay. You should be doing the show.
Yep.
Yes,
So
I could only imagine.
It's either here or out next week.
Okay.
Yeah, because Jay's got Overdrive. So I am tempted to sign up for Overdrive, just because this last year I've missed out on a couple, but then Overdrive, I think, doesn't include the things like the Elite and the Jay. Help me out here. Does the Overdrive include the things like the Elites and the Back to the Future, like the Back to the Future van and the Jaws boat that they did this year? I don't think it does. So yeah,
We feel you, Jay.
yeah. Jay says funny, some cars look better in photo than in person, while others look better in person. I
And
agree.
I agree.
Like I said,
certainly agree.
the mainline F40 did not look good to me until I saw it in person. The Daytona that they did looks great, and it does kind of sort of have lensed headlamps, and that they've done that really cool thing where they use the windshield plastic to make the headlamps, and I'm glad that they're doing that more. I think that's a great cheap way to make cars look a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Well, we got our answer.
All right, we got a
Regular old RLC. That's it. That's all
regular RLC. That's it. Okay.
That's
so
it.
Harry,
That's
I'm
the
sorry,
list.
I interrupted you. Did you? Do you have
I was
anything
going to
here?
say, yeah, coming back to the paint job, that's the only thing that scares me is, again, when you're looking at a photo, especially, something coming from the manufacturer, you're never too
Right.
sure, is that the actual paint job, or did somebody really spruce it up in post? Because like I
Sure.
said, looking at the photo at first blush, it's a really well done shot.
Yeah.
And just how well it does once you actually lay eyes on it. Like, are you still getting that same black,
yeah.
or is it somewhat muted or matted? That's the question upon release. So I would say, Jason, if once you get it, please let us see what it looks
Jay.
like once you have it in hand.
Yeah. I will say, and Hot Wheels, one of the things about them with their mass production is they have had QC issues in the past, and infamously their McLaren F1, which was in a Spectraflame orange, had remarkable QC issues with paint flaking off of it and just not looking very good and having imperfections in the paint. So black is a dangerous color to do on any vehicle, even a small one, because there's a lot that it shows everything. It's a mirror. So anyway, Moving on from a mass-produced brand to a not so mass-produced brand, BR Classics, one that a lot of people don't even have on their radar most of the time, but this one really made me stand up and take notice, David. So tell me about this one.
Guys, if you got a weird collection like me, BR Classics coming out of Brazil does Brazilian versions of a lot of the cars we know and love, a lot of Volkswagens, a lot of Chevrolets, but they are the versions that were released in Latin America. Check out the Beetle. We've got just more VWs that you may not have in your collection. You can even see in the back there. They also do buses. I've got several of these. Harry, as somebody branching out with the brands, number one, were you aware? I mean, literally every corner of the world is making diecast cars. And number two, any of these oddball releases in overseas and South America appeal to you in your collection?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking for something different, and I think that's the point of collecting is, again, you don't want to get the same thing that everyone has. And if you see something that really appeals, yes. And looking at this Volkswagen Beetle, that's something, of course, anybody that came up through the 70s and 80s, we've seen plenty of. You don't see them anymore unless you see it in a movie or in a museum. So, yeah, I would definitely jump on a chance to grab the Beetle. The other two, not so much, but definitely the Beetle's always been like a classic to me.
Sure. And that's a Super Beetle too, which a lot of people don't do, those mid to late 70s Beetles with the wider front ends and the curved windshield. And I'm excited to see that. As somebody who is personally a fan more of the classic Beetle, just having that as something different is really nice. And that Brasilia over there, which Hot Wheels did one. And this one is a good example of someone with a more premium line with much smaller B pillars and A pillars. Those are very thin by comparison to the Hot Wheels one. And I think is that a Polo or a Golf over there on the other side? Looks like a Polo.
Like a Golf.
Might be a Golf. I can't really tell. It depends. I'm sure it's called something else in Brazil. But BR Classics is one that is starting to show up more and more on my radar. I do really like what I've seen from them so far, but yeah, that's something worth checking out, especially that Super Beetle.
Last one, we just Fireball's been with us from the get-go. He's dropping some new stuff. There's a lot of really cool original art by a guy that has been a fan of diecast his whole life and has made a lot of the cool stuff in movies that we don't even always attribute to him because we don't know. So Fireball Tim has some new mugs coming out. Go to his Fireball Tim Garage art site. He's got some really cool stuff, including some diecast breakdown themed merch. So had to always give FB a nod when we see him dropping stuff. He is super cool. Our buddy Lou agrees. Fireball is a legend. Just commented. We agree. Always here to support him.
Yep, indeed. All right. And Harry, you had, speaking of Rexy and Roxy, you had this particular beauty to contribute, this skeletonized, I don't know what the word is for this, but this mini GT version of Rexy over here. So tell us about this one.
It's the skeleton Rexy. Pre-orders went up, and almost as soon as it went up, they were gone. I mean, for everybody that's collected the other two, this makes a great addition to them making it a trio. And of course, the whole fossilized version, because I mean, that's how we find most of our dinosaurs. So I saw it, I was like, yeah, I have to add that, because I kind of felt like, okay, if I never got Rexy, I'm at least going to get the fossilized version, but hey, it would be cool to have all three. And then the other little extra detail that I like is if you look on the front where the teeth are, they even gave it a couple of gold teeth.
Gold teeth, yeah. But it's fun.
That's nice. Nice attention to detail.
So it's one of those things where, if I remember correctly, it's due to drop late January, early February of next year. It pre-orders for 25. So if you could still find pre-orders out there and you're a fan of the mini GT version of this vehicle, hop on it, because like I said, most places almost as soon as they had the pre-orders go up, they were gone.
Yeah, and that is a really good looking casting from Mini GT. I would.
I love the tires.
Yeah, the tires look great.
Yeah.
Love that multicolor Michelin on there. Those are really nice. I'm not really a late model Porsche guy, but it does look really nice, and I do love the Rexy and the Roxy themes. So those are really cool.
Eric says he'll buy 2, the one that you don't get.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm sure Derek is foaming at the mouth to get this thing. All right, taking things all the way back down to the more mainline version. One of the things I pointed out is there are more Jurassic Park Matchboxes coming out. I was pleased to see the return of the Mercedes M-Class back there in the back from Lost World. They are doing some fun takes on the liveries, especially the Jeep and the Explorer. They swapped liveries on them, much like they swapped liveries on some of the Fast and Furious vehicles on the Hot Wheels side. So kind of a fun what if they had done the Jurassic Park Jeep in the Explorer and the Explorer as the Jeep, which I thought was pretty cool. Fun fact, Fireball worked on the Jurassic Park vehicles as well. I'm not sure exactly what he did on them, but I know he did some design work, especially for the Explorers. So, shout out again to him, and just kind of a fun take on stuff. I know some people like the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World stuff. I do as well. And they're doing some fun different versions, some 5-packs. There's even like 30 versions. So, sticking with Matchbox.
Here we go. Now
yeah. I just picked up the Caddy and the BMW from this new set from their collector series. They're both very nice. The BMW, I think, is a little nicer. I got the Bentley and the Jeep with the Jeep forward cab with the tipping bed as well. Still haven't found that Honda Accord. It is a really, really nice casting. It's an Accord, right? It's not a Civic. It's an Accord. I'm doubting myself.
Yeah, that's an Accord.
That's an Accord. Yes. Okay. Don't know why I was doubting myself there. I owned one, for crying out loud. But yeah, it's a really nice casting. People who've been snapping that one up. There's
that is a customizer's dream right there.
Exactly. So that one is the one that I'm still keeping an eye out. These are interesting. Candy Lab is done famous for their wooden, very stylized vehicles, has launched a Kickstarter for what they're calling their Tuned series. Sounds familiar. Sounds very familiar. Also, they're calling their stuff wooden diecast. These are Hot Wheels-ish, 1/64th-ish scale cars, which I think is very interesting. They have been doing more larger scale stuff before, more like 1/32nd or even 1/24th scale wooden stuff. So this is their first kind of foray into the smaller scales. They have a track that's coming out that's kind of interesting that does work with your other 1/64 scale stuff. They do have an interesting little feature where they have swappable wheelbases.
Well, I wonder where they came up with that.
I don't know where they would have come up with something like that. Anyway, well, I know somebody close to this show must be feeling very flattered because they're certainly flattering some other designs. There's definitely some influence there, and honestly, kind of here for it. They're really cool. I like the stylized look of stuff. Here's some looks at the track that comes with it. It does have a flexible track that goes with it, and pretty cool. A lot of options there. There's a loop. There's some oval track. Kind of a cool setup. Again, this is all Kickstarter stuff. Very new still. There's some looks at the cars. There is a backing level where you can get all the cars, which is the level that I backed it at because I really want that Storm Duker orange over there.
I knew you were going for that.
Exactly. And there's some really good ones in there too. There's
give me the Land Rover.
Yeah, the Land Rover is really cool. I do like the Mud Coyote. That is a really cool one. There is kind of a rusty-ish looking one called the Rustoco. which I think is fun. So anyway, that is
News you
my
can use.
news. So let us know what you think. If you've got news that you want to share, you can visit. No, you don't visit. You go to your email and you send it to me on your email at diecastbreakdown.com, and we will share that on the channel if it's not obscene or weird or whatever. Send us nice stuff, diecast related,
You can
ideally.
pixelate it.
So yeah, be careful because we might actually share it. So we take no responsibility for privacy of anything that you send us at diecastbreakdown@gmail.com. So I will say the holidays are upon us. In case you haven't been outside lately, I am excited because
Stocking stuffers,
diecast merch over at diecastmedianetwork.com or diecastbreakdown.com. Both have links to the merch store where Justin Ellis is putting out new designs every month for us. I was just in Walmart and they had the M2 baubles. You should the ornaments that have diecast inside them. They're Coca-Cola themed, as they do every year now. Those are super hot items. I was amazed to find one that was brand new and untouched. And my little show and tell for the show is check it out. These are all three and they're chases.
3 of them.
Too. There's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. So those are some really nice Christmas tree decorations that I have this year. Very excited about that.
That's really cool, Chuck. Cool. Congratulations.
So, thank you. So I just wanted to share that to say, hey, when you're looking for your super treasure hunts, don't forget to check the other brands too, because they have chases as well, and they are fantastic. But I love the color matched wheels on these chases. That's a really cool thing that they are doing as well. So check those out if you get a chance. They are really hard to find. I know that a lot of people, especially people in the communities like the square body truck communities and the 10 grill Dodge communities, where they're all very eager to have those on their Christmas tree, and they're very hard to find, but they are out there. So don't lose heart. And just, whenever you're going by your local Walmart, stop in for a second, because you never know what you're going to find. I found some really cool stuff, even just breezing through my local Walgreens, because there's a lot of cool cartoon cars that show up there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So check those out.
Yep.
All right, guys. Yeah. Gearhead points out the O'Reilly's exclusives. Those are not O'Reilly's exclusives. Those are the Walmart ones, which are based on Coca-Cola. There are some O'Reilly's exclusives as well in the
one day we're going to get into this, Chuck. This was Hobby Lobby. Just by the way, Hobby Lobby. If you
have a couple of those in mind too.
Yep. Yeah. I picked up one of those as well. I think I've got the square body. There's those are the laboratory. What are they called?
Custom shop.
Custom shop. So those are really cool. They've got kind of a non-toxic resin. You can cast your own wheels. And
who does that? Who does that? Who lets you make your own wheels, guys?
Yeah.
Come on.
And honestly, I love the cartoon branded screwdriver that comes with it. It's really cool. I've got one on my desk that I use for my unboxings. It's just a really nice thing. And those cool little cans with the resin inside. It's a very cool setup. Those and the car hauler that they just released is really, really cool. That one was on my list for casting of the year, which we're going to be talking about in a little bit. It is not in this list right now. We are still putting this list together, so we are putting the call out there. Send us your picks for casting of the year 2025 at diecastbreakdown@gmail.com, and we'll be talking about that
episode of the year, Chuck. Favorite episode is when we recap.
I love doing those. So just to kind of prime the pump a little bit, we're going to share some of our picks for 2025. We're going to start with Harry because he picked some real bangers over here. So let's take a look at this one. Harry, what are we looking at here?
That is the Audi. It's Tarmac Works Audi R8. LMS GT3 Evo 2, and I really like not just because it's Hello Kitty, but the art, just the art, the design, how it popped. and it also photographs really, really, really well. I mean, even if you look at the pink strips on the tire where the actual uh, air gauge goes, I was like, oh, that's a lot of attention to detail you don't see out of a lot of diecast. I mean, again, I know I've only been doing this for a short time, but I did realize, like, okay, not a lot of people get that tiny detail right. And I really did enjoy how well it was built. I think the only minus is that it does not roll. But other than that, so much detail in such a tiny thing. And like I said, and
Yeah.
again, the color. The crazy part is, even when I photographed it, I didn't have to do too much of it with the pictures and post to make the color pop. It just does it on its own.
No, I agree. This is just a further treatise on how amazing Tarmac Works are, and I think they're a very underrated brand. Personally, I think a lot of people are really excited about some of the other brands, and they're sleeping on Tarmac Works. But you look at that skeletonized spoiler on the back there, how fine those are at 1/64 scale, and the little antenna. I have a Tarmac Works Volvo wagon that has that type of antenna on top of it, and I was sure it was going to get broken off in the move, and it survived. But it was, they really tear it up with the tiny details over there, and at a very reasonable price point, I think, for what they're doing as well. So I think it's interesting that IXO is a sponsor on that card. Did you notice that, David?
Yeah, I did. They've
Tarmac is IXO.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lou.
There you go. The cool story about that, for those that don't know, Felix, the creator of Tarmac, was on our show a couple years ago. Why Hello Kitty? It's because his daughter likes Hello Kitty. And this guy has a heart of gold, one of the biggest benefactors in the entire diecast industry. They have things set up in place to donate based on every car that's sold. Can't support Tarmac enough. Super cool guy, and everybody at Tarmac should be proud the way Felix leads that company.
They do a couple of different releases with the Hello Kitty. I can't speak. Hello Kitty livery, but this was the one that just spoke to me the most.
Yeah, the Audi looks really nice because it's the most. I think it's the most. Well, they did that Mercedes as well, the Mercedes 2-door. But yeah, I think the real estate wise, this is the largest car that they've done the Hello Kitty theme on, so it has a little more real estate to do fun graphics. And I'm not going to show my daughter this picture because she will want one for herself, and she is only 7, so she's learning how to take care of nicer tiny cars. But yes, thank you to Lou and Jay for correcting. IXO makes castings for Tarmac. It's all connected, people. Next thing you'll tell me is that Mini GT is making castings for Kaido House.
Who would have thought?
Anyway, all right, Harry, you also had, speaking of Mini GT,
what a segue.
You had this,
yeah, and I'm actually holding it in my hand right now, the Skyline. It's shocking that in the little bit of time I've been collecting, how many Skylines I probably already got in my collection, but this one just spoke to me. No, go back to that one.
Yeah, okay.
That one spoke to me so much, like the aggressive front end, the spoiler, everything about it. Just like, I have to have this. And as soon as my shop got it in, I was down like day one. So I want this. I don't want anything else. And then, you see the roll cage on the inside, and when I reviewed it, like I said, just so much attention to detail, even on the back end. And again, it photographs really, really well. And then of course, if people like Liberty Walk is just kind of splattered all over the place, but it's neatly done where it doesn't overtake the entire vehicle.
Yep.
Yeah. I always joke you can't do a diecast show without talking about Liberty Walk and R34s at some point in every episode, and this is no exception. But it's a good reason to bring them up. And the R34 is iconic for a reason, and Liberty Walk does some iconic things with an already iconic vehicle. This black on white example is no exception. It is just it pops really well, which is hard to do in a dark car. And with those details like the red and the yellow on the interior, I just love it. It's fantastic.
And it's one of those things that, kind of alluding to earlier regarding the F40, when you're putting black paint on something, like, how is that going to show up when someone goes to photograph it? Is it going to be a muted black, or is it going to like stand out? Does it get a lot of dust? Because that's another thing that a lot of people don't realize. Like, black cars, real or not, even diecast, they get dust really, really easily.
Sure.
And this is one of those. It does not. Like, I wipe it down every now and again, but for sure, it shows up very well on the photos.
Very good. Okay. Moving right along because we're running out of time here. We did have Scale Enthusiasm sent in the Hot Wheels Koenigsegg as his pick for casting of the year 2025. It's a very nice casting. Good looking casting there.
It is
So,
good.
and,
Not a bad choice at all.
Not a bad choice at all. So thank you. And again, you can send in your casting choices as well. We did have a casting choice that was a dream manifestation of a 97 Toyota Paseo. I'll give you three guesses as to who sent that in.
First
Toyota
two don't
Paseo.
count too.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, long time listener, viewer of the show, Rico really does love
On
him.
the Mount Rushmore of Diecast Media Network fans.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of Hot Wheels, David, you've got a few surprising picks for your casting of the year.
I'm gonna rip through mine really quickly. They're all Hot Wheels. There are bigger Hot Wheels fans than me, but I am starting the entire year-end recap process. So let's start with some that made a splash. This mainline version of Optimus, very well received. I'm not going to say much if y'all want to chime in, or we can move on to the next one. This one was a pretty big hit.
Got one of those. It hit me in the 80s feels. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I will say I love the fidelity of this replica, that it really does feel like the G1 Optimus Prime. Like it looks like, and I'm sure this is not too far from what they did. Like they did a 3D scan of an actual G1 Optimus Prime and shrunk it down to 1/100th, 1/180th ish scale, because it's not really 1/64.
Right.
But it is a very cool looking casting, and I appreciate that they didn't do a cab over engine truck that was done in the Optimus Prime livery. This is the G1 Optimus Prime, like they did with Bumblebee. They took their VW casting and they did a special chassis for it, and they made it Bumblebee. But this is a unique casting. This could only be the Optimus Prime. It even has the panel lines and the sections where it would have pivoted out, and the headlights have the holes in them where Optimus's little fists would go. So
right. It's really blocky, like it should be blocky.
Yep.
Exactly. It looks exactly like it should look. All right, we're gonna move on here.
Moving on, we got a GTD. This was a brand new casting in 25. Jason Mustang Hunter loves this one. Shout out, super cool car. And if you guys don't have a whole lot to say, we'll keep on trucking.
I just really liked the matte blue version that they did. That one was really pretty.
Next colorway was matte blue. We don't get a lot of Maseratis. This is a Maserati Shamal. If it didn't hit your radar, came out in 25. Remember, we are talking about castings that came out in 2025. So these are a few. You can go find this list on Hot Wheels Wiki. You can find out when all your castings came out and who designed them. All right.
Yep, that is a very nice casting. I just saw it on the pegs today in black, and it looks good. I think they've done a black version, a blue version, maybe a white version. Jay will correct me, I'm sure. But moving on here, we got the Viper, the
retooled Viper. Yeah, this was a massive improvement over the looked like just bubblegum you found smashed on the street, the old casting. It was so blobby, just too chunky, to use Chuck's description earlier. So this one looking a little bit leaner and meaner, in my opinion.
Yeah, good looking casting. I will point out Hot Wheels has been really good at including side view mirrors. Check it out. Side view mirrors. How about that? Side view mirrors. Side view mirrors.
Good call, Chuck.
And side view mirrors
Let's talk
Ooh.
about this. This is why, look at the headlamps on this 928. I need this 928 to be better. This was a big hit. I just need a little bit better. In fact, golly, I'm almost on the fence of whether I like the old version better. So this was a well received newer version that came out new casting that came out a few months ago. A lot of people like it. You would think I like it because I put it in my list of best of 25.
Yeah,
but
man, I'm confused.
As I see it, in contrast with the old one, I think the old one's proportions are better. Of course, it does have.
Uh-oh.
That phone.
We got a spoiler on the new version. I'm curious to hear the chat's reaction as we talk about it and move on.
Yeah.
We'll keep on trucking.
Yeah.
It's just one because I know it made a splash.
I liked the partially open sunroof on it. I liked
Yep.
that a lot. I thought that was really nice. I like the spoiler. I agree with you. I think the headlights are too small. I don't know what happened there, but I have the Real Rider version of the one on the right.
Yep.
It was an interior free version. It just had kind of a dark lens. You can actually see daylight from the wheel opening in this picture
The
here.
arches, yeah.
Yeah. Which always kind of bummed me out. Even as a kid, I was like, I want this to have, more depth to it. And I had several versions of this 928, but I want to like the 928, the new 928. I picked it up. It does look nice, but yeah, there are some issues with the proportions on it, and the classic black wall is a favorite of mine.
Those
as
headlamps, Chuck, as we move along, those headlamps are why I do not want the GT40 to have glass that is part of the windshield because it's going to look like that. It just never comes out good.
Yep, touche. All right. Well, speaking of photographing black paint, and I'm glad that I put enough distance between me and Harry's photos. This is one of my photos, and I'm realizing now how out of focus it is. But I've been trying with my phone to take more photos of my cars, but apologies to Round 2 and the good people at Auto World. But this is the 1970 Plymouth Fury that just came out. It is a beautiful casting. It is a true 164, and this is the Auto World store exclusive version that you can only get the all black with the white trim from Auto World store. So check that out. But love the raised white letters, love the factory correct wheels, the crisp lines on this thing. It is just everything about this is gorgeous. I absolutely love this casting. It does have an opening hood with a detailed, semi-detailed engine in there. But with this paint job anyway, it does not stand out as an opening hood, which is very hard to do in this scale. Very nice looking casting overall. And it
really is.
Yeah, agreed. And they did a bit of a mic drop in that they dropped this one, the 68 Coronet, and I think it's the
Fury.
66 Impala. This is the Fury.
Yep.
Coronet Fury and the Impala. And the Impala also looks great. The Coronet also looks great, but the Fury, we haven't had it in this year in 164 scale, and absolutely a stunning version of it. So comments in the chat. Tan interior with the open sunroof are great. Might make it better with different wheels. I think that's regarding the 928. So thank you, Boilermaker 6359 for that one. So moving on.
Gotta watch the Round 2 for you YouTube channel for this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Check out Chad and his stuff. I will say my one ding on this one, since we were talking about no side view mirrors, but that's not uncommon for Auto World. They make up for it in being absolute true 164 scale and having unique wheels and tires appropriate to each casting. So I would rather have that than side view mirrors personally. So if I had to choose, I mean, I would like to have both, but if I had to choose, that's what I would choose. Tamiya plus
what in the
Tamika.
world?
This is a photo from Alex Winston, friend of the show over at Lamley. So if you were a child back in the 80s and 90s, like I was, then you probably saw the Grasshopper by Tamiya. These were battery powered cars that had little wheels on the edges, and they'd race down these tracks with walls, and they would go super duper fast. They were, I think, about 132 scale, and just really cool, kind of fantasy-ish off-road vehicles, and you could customize them and add different gearings in them and paint them and detail them. And they partnered together and did a 1/64th version of what that car would look like if it were a real car in 1/64 scale. They did a great job. I love it. Tamika does great with everything that they do, and this is no exception. And it was just such a unique idea that I really liked it. And that is one of the ones in the running for 2025 for me. This is another one and a better photo.
Now we're talking.
This one,
I like that.
Cartooned. Let's talk about Cartooned, because Cartooned was the brand of the year for 2024, hands down, no question. And they have continued with some amazing momentum moving into 2025 and inspiring quite a few imitators. We're seeing Cubed from Mini GT. We're seeing Candy Labs tuned. Hot Wheels did a tuned series. So, you know, and I know that Lou welcomes the competition and sees it as a way to improve the hobby overall. So I know that he's loving this. And like I said, I'm sure he's feeling very flattered about all this, the imitation that's going on, but there is no replication of the quality that I've seen and the really just spot on proportions that they're doing over at Cartoon. And this car really stood out to me. This is their Lowrider 87 Toyota pickup SR5. It's a really good looking casting. I think it's the first one that they've had that has moving parts in this scale as well, and that the pickup bed tips back and it shifts a little bit. This one has a removable camper top. There's another version that has a very 80s style graphic on the side of it that looks great, but I'm partial to this one because it has the camper top, and it is a beautiful shade of deep purple, crisp lines on it. Really cool. Gents, your thoughts on the cartooned or tuned craze that's happening right now? Because I didn't think I would like it.
Often imitated and never duplicated.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say.
Absolutely stunning. And you know what? It's always like 3 levels past what.
No side mirrors.
Yeah, three levels past where they could have stopped. It's always this plus you get this and this and this. So
yeah,
just, and absolutely innovation on display
at a sub $6 price point. They've got their their smooth swap chassis system where you can swap the bases out. Yes, check out Tanahara Design on Instagram, by the way. That is their man at the helm over there, Louis Big Lou Tanahara, famous for Dub City diecasts over at Jada. And
I need to know what song is playing. I need to know what song is playing when you're driving down.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it may be something from Miami, something with some bass. I just that takes me back.
Yeah, but I love the adjustable chassis, the adjustable suspensions on these things.
MC Shy.
All right, well, put that in your Spotify, folks.
If you really want to go basic, I'm looking at this and thinking gin and juice. Yeah, really want to go basic.
Hey, that's always a good call.
Yep. All right, one more from me. This is the Hot Wheels Elite FJ that just came out. This is an 80s FJ. Absolutely love this casting. Very crisp lines on it. True 1/64 scale. This one does have lensed lamps on the front anyway, and they did it right, David. They do look very good. You can tell they're kind of like a one-piece thing, but I actually don't mind that because I think a lot of times when people do the individual lamps instead of like a one single piece, you get those weird pockets in the back where you can kind of see the peg that goes back. Greenlight has this problem with like the brick nose Ford trucks, especially, or the older Crown Vics that they do. But this one does look really, really good. It comes with several options. I have 2 of them. One is clean and one is going to get that camper top. But love this casting. Was very excited when it came out. Love old FJs, and they did the long wheelbase, which is super cool there as well. So all right, good stuff. Anyone have any final thoughts?
Send in your votes. We're going to compile it. We're going to make this a collaborative effort. We're going to do some community posts, and we're just going to celebrate a pretty cool year in diecast here in a few weeks.
Yep. And by the way, be sure to check out drivendreams.org. I know that the Diecast Day of Giving shifted a little bit, so we are going to be modifying that to give people more time to get their stuff in. One of the charities that I give to just opened up for donations, so I've got a bunch of cards that I'm going to be sending their way. So check that out, drivendreams.org. And while you're clicking around on the internet, we're going to do a little small channel shout out really quick. There is a new Diecast podcast in town, and it is called the Diecast Podcast. You can find them over on YouTube or on Spotify, or I believe on your favorite podcasting apps. One of these guys needs no introduction. He is the boy they know as Racer Ben. They just started up. They're 2 episodes in. It's a fun show. The guys are having a blast, and they're just getting started. So go over and check them out, because they are doing a great job covering the latest in diecast news, and it's a fun counterpoint to this show. So when you're not watching us, you can be watching them, but we hope you're watching both of us. And while you're watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are very close to 7,000 subscribers, David, which is pretty cool.
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah, we are closing in on 7,000, which is very nice.
7,000 people.
And some of them even watch. So we are appreciative of everybody who clicks those buttons, and of course the like button. And if you really like what we do, share it with your friends. And if you've made it to the end of the episode, and we know you're there, we see a few of you, you can leave a little comment as part of the close down crew. We appreciate that. And of course, special thank you to my guest co-host, Harry's Diecast Garage. Anything you want to say as we're wrapping things up, Harry?
You guys can find me on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Like I said, I have a new unboxing video coming this week, and of course, I'm always open for suggestions. So, if you guys got some good places where I can go stick my nose in and find some stuff, hey. And then, of course, the more subscribers, the merrier. Remember, I'm new to this portion of collecting, and I want to thank everyone out there that's been hopping on it. And I do feel like I did get a bit of a boost after my last 4 right here. So I'm thankful to you all for this and for letting me come aboard and guest host today.
Sure, absolutely. And David, you are on Instagram, are you not?
We are still rocking and rolling on Instagram. TWYCE Diecast is there. Drop by, leave me a note. Tell me what you're excited about. I'll share it on the show and probably forget to give you credit.
And speaking of credit, you can also check out our brand new subreddit, r/Diecast Breakdown. Nice and handy.
Just taking over the world.
No one was using that subreddit, so we decided to snap up that name, and there have been a few people already engaging in that, so I'm grateful for that. I'm making a few posts over there of the diecast finds that I am making throughout my day. You can find that, and you can also follow us on Instagram. If you're not watching us over there on Instagram right now, we are posting more over there. So Instagram, subreddit, right here on YouTube, and of course the Spotify or podcast app of your choice. We're all over that. So make sure you're checking us out wherever you're at, and wherever you are, we hope you're having a wonderful day, and we hope that you're making the best of the diecast life. So as always, we want to thank you for coming along with us for the ride. So until next time, stay fresh, cheese bags.